Welcome one, welcome all, welcome back to another PT13 stream. Sorry I did not stream yesterday on Sunday. We have 8 days left of the Easter holiday. Today I have 3 streams for you. An FC25 stream, a Fortnite stream, and a Minecraft stream. Racer stream. We're starting off with an FC25 stream and a big Newcastle United manager career mode. Now obviously, if you saw my stream the other day, that was the final. However, this is the last part of the final, stroke the start of Season 2. So this is a Newcastle United manager career mode, as you know. We are playing the last part of Season 1 today, and mostly the start of Season 2 today. This stream is going to be 2 hours and 10 minutes long, so quite a hefty stream to take in. As you can see by the title, we are going to be finishing Season 1 today to decide if we win the Premier League or not instead of Arsenal. And we will be starting Season 2 where we'll be buying a player or two. Welcome them to Newcastle. Obviously, I'm going to give you a recap and a summary of the Newcastle United career so far and what we're going to do in the future. And then we're going to get straight into it. As you can see, we move into 2 points of Arsenal with 2 games of the season to go. This is a realistic and slow-paced career mode. I'm only allowed to buy 2 players per season for realistic stuff. And for my first season on my Newcastle United manager career mode, my objectives was to either win the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, or / win a trophy, and B, to get top 4 in the Premier League so I could play Champions League football next season. Both of those objectives have been completed. We won the Carabao Cup a few streams ago against Manchester United in the final. I will show you that run right now. We started off by beating Preston 3-1. We then beat Liverpool 3-2. Arsenal on penalties after drawing to them 1-1. Chelsea in the semi-final. We came back from 2-1 down to win 4-2 in the second leg. And we beat Man United 3-2 in the final. Unfortunately, we got knocked out the FA Cup in the first game against Spurs on penalties. That is why my manager rating looks slightly lower than expected. But in terms of the Premier League, oh my goodness, what a season. By a country mile, we have damned the expectations. We wanted to get top 4 by the end of the season. We are second in the league with a chance of winning the Premier League with only 2 games left to go. Top 4 has been sealed. It was sealed last stream. We are, with only 2 games to go, we're 12 to 14 points clear of 5th place. So we're definitely getting top 4. But look at that. We have only lost 5 games this season. Obviously, whoever wins the title this season, it's not like 90 points or plus, so it's not as convincing in terms of the title, but it's still pretty close. And as you can see, with 2 games left to go, Arsenal are above us. However, they have a game in hand. The disappointing thing is, boys, is we were on track. We had the advantage to win the Premier League title with a month left to go. However, 2 or possibly 3 results have done us in. If you watched last stream, you would have saw that I drew to Leicester City 1-0, costing me 2 massive points, and then somehow lost to Ipswich 1-0, costing me 3 massive points. We also drew to Chelsea, costing us 2 points as well, so you could effectively say that 7 massive points were costed there. Definitely 5, as we should be winning against Ipswich and Leicester. So that's what's costed us in the title in the end. Obviously, last stream, we lost against Ipswich in the league. Won against Brighton. We won against Palace and Brighton, but we drew against Chelsea and lost to Ipswich, and inevitably, basically costing us the Premier League title. Today, we will be playing the last 2 games of Season 1 to see if we can win the Premier League title. Probably not. And 2, starting Season 2, buying the players I need. 2, and yeah, starting the season. We have 2 games left of the Premier League. Arsenal away at the Emirates, and Everton at home at St James's Park. Now, why is that important? There is only one singular scenario where we can win the Premier League from here. That is, A, beating Arsenal at their home ground, which would put us 1 point behind them. Then beating Everton on the final day, hoping Arsenal draw or lose their final game, and then we will walk home with that sweet silverware of the Premier League. However, it is unlikely. Going to Arsenal and winning for a start is hard enough, and then we have to make sure we win against Everton, and then a miracle for Arsenal to drop points on their big day out. So all I am trying to say to you guys, it is probably 70% to 30% that we don't win the Premier League. It is very unlikely we win the Premier League, which is why I'm telling you now, boys, if we don't win the Premier League, it will be heartbreaking, it will be damaging, as you don't get too many opportunities to be in this position, and especially for a first season, it's been absolutely fantastic, and it would have been quite a motivational, quite setting thing going into the second season, so it might put our hearts down a bit. However, we have overdone expectations, we've done the stuff we need to do, we've won a trophy for the first time in 7 decades, and we're back in the biggest part of European football, which is the Champions League. And our squad has been fantastic this season. We are the best attacking team in the Premier League. Alexander Isak's got 48 Premier League goals. He's broken Erling Haaland's record by 12. Absolute brilliant player. Best striker in the world right now. So yeah, if we don't win the Premier League, which is likely, you can't say that Arsenal didn't deserve it. We've lost some key games, which has costed us. Of course, you have to remember that we have had a really good season. Winning a trophy and getting top 4 is always a good season, no matter what club you are. Whatever club you are in the Premier League, if you win a trophy and get top 4, it's always a good season. But for Newcastle United, playing in Champions League football next season is a brilliant. It attracts more players. It's just brilliant. It really is. And because we won a trophy this season, we can build on that. You may be asking me, what will my objectives be for my second season? Win anything. Obviously, I think the FA Cup and the Champions League are 2 big ones. I think this season we won the Carabao Cup, and we're second or possibly winning the Premier League. So obviously, yes, we still have to focus on the Carabao Cup and Premier League next season massively. However, all we know that we have done well on them. But next season, we do have to focus on the FA Cup and Champions League, as the Champions League is something any club wants to do well in. And obviously the FA Cup, we got knocked out in the first round this season, so we need to improve that in the second season. And I'd rather win the FA Cup than the Carabao Cup. But every trophy next season is important to try and win, especially with how we've done this season and how we can build on our squad. So here we go, the first game of the stream, or when I say the most important game of the stream, Newcastle United versus Arsenal in the Premier League. This could be a title game. This really could. All Arsenal have to do is win one of their 2 remaining games, including the one against us, to seal the Premier League title. However, Newcastle have to hope that we can beat Arsenal, and then we just have to pray to the gods that the final day falls kindly to us. It's a massive stream. I'm really proud of these players. You guys are asking me who am I going to sign in my second season, as I usually sign 2 players. I do think I'm going to focus on the defending aspect. I think our attack is absolutely fantastic. I think I will have to sign at least 1 defender, maybe 2, if not a defender, then another midfielder. But I think we do have to improve on our defence in our second season, as we have had a lack of clean sheets. Obviously, I already know who I'm probably going to replace. Probably Trippier and one of our defenders. I think our midfield and strikers are fine. I think maybe Kieran Trippier has to be replaced. And maybe one of the centre halves, but definitely need at least 1 better defender for next season. But anyway, here we go. Last 2 times we've played Arsenal competitions, we lost 7-4 to them in the Prem. We drew 1-1 against them in the Carabao Cup and beat them on penalties. So we haven't actually beaten Arsenal in 180 minutes of actual football. They have a very, very good team. Listen, boys, this is an absolute massive game. This is an absolute massive game. There is no argument about it. If you can win this, you can push the Premier League title fight to the final day, and you can give yourself a real chance to win it. All you need to do is beat Everton and hope Arsenal drop points, which is very entirely possible. But this is the game that's vital. Beating Arsenal at their back garden. That is hard. That seems almost impossible. But believe me, you can do it. If you don't win today, draw or lose, Arsenal have the Premier League title. If you can win today, how glorious, and what a feeling that might be. That's the team going out there today. Luke Shaw replaced by Thibaut Livramento due to his suspension after his stupid tackle against Chelsea, was it? Listen, you have worked so unbelievably hard this season. You've got a trophy and you've got top 4. We can focus and build on that next season. We can buy better defenders. We can focus on the Champions League. We can build on the squad. And next season we can challenge for the Premier League. We can try and challenge for the FA Cup. Obviously we need to improve next season in defence and just more consistent results. But I'm very happy with you guys this season. If you can't win the Premier League, you've only got yourselves to blame. But it is a massive step towards getting this football club back to where they need to be. You show Arsenal, you bring the fight to them. Show you're not scared. Show you're prepared to do whatever it takes to try and snatch this Premier League title from them. This would be one of the dramatic and best Premier League title wins ever if you can snatch this from the Gunners. You're playing in the Emirates Stadium, quite a hostile atmosphere, but the away fans, the Magpies, will help you all the way. You need to see out the last, even if you can't win the Premier League title, you need to try and win our last 2 Premier League games against Arsenal and Everton. If we don't win the Prem, that doesn't put you down. You go into next season with the same attitude and mentality. Say, yeah, we got a trophy. We're playing in the fucking Champions League, boys. Next season, show that you're a team that deserves to play in the Champions League. This is your trailer. This is your sequel. This is your audition for the Champions League, boys. Right? We've got next season, we can go for any trophy. We can go for every trophy. We can aim to be better. We can aim, after our first season, we have so much to improve on. But we have unbelievably amounts to be good. And Arsenal are going to be dangerous. Martin Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, they're only 2 of multiple players you need to have a quick eye on. You need to stay compact in defence, and you need to be very quick on transition. We won't get too many chances against this very tough and strong Arsenal defence. Timber, Gabriel, White, not very easy to get past. Obviously, go in the wide areas, carry Maddie, Amy and Gordon. Find Alexander Isak, who has scored against every Big Six club this season. And I think this season he has actually only scored... Yeah, he has only scored 2 against Arsenal this season, Isak, in the 2 games he's playing. But this is the moment. You're playing away from home. Go out there and show you can bring this Premier League title to the final day. Come on! Well, 2 games left of my first season. And it looks like we'll be ending with a top 4 finish and a Carabao Cup trophy, which is absolutely massive for this football club, and we will be able to build on that next season. I mean, next season we're buying a better defender or 2, which we'll be starting on today. And of course, next season, it's all about how many trophies can we win. Can we do the bargain? Can we play good in the Champions League and the knockout? Can we get to the knockout stages? And can we actually push and win the Premier League next season? We'll see. We will need a better defender or 2 if we want to do that next season, and we'll still have to keep the same standards in attack as we have done this season. Oh, what an attack it's been. Well, in a week's time, somebody somewhere will win the Premier League title. And it just might be Newcastle. It just might be the Magpies. But to do that, we need to beat Arsenal on their own backyard here before we can even think about the final day against Everton. Anything less than a win here would gift Arsenal the Premier League title. And we don't want to give them that satisfaction of doing it against us. Like I said, beat Arsenal today, it will be down to the final day. Even if we win the Premier League this season, that will be Premier League and Carabao Cup win and a top 4 finish, obviously. But next season we'll be aiming for even bigger things. The FA Cup, we've got the Champions League to play in. And to be a big club, you need to be consistent in your results. If we can beat Arsenal here, we will have massive chances to win the Premier League title on the final day. But if we lose to Arsenal here, you think hope is lost. Here we go. Ali. His burn. Livramento away from Adeyemi. Declan Rice. Saka is clearly offside there. No matter what we win this season, no matter what you win any season, the season after has to be consistent. You can't have one good season and then flop off. That's not how it works. It's share. It's Tonali. Is Isak so often a threat? Livramento. Adeyemi galloping. Is Bruno Guimaraes. Is Sandro Tonali. Is Joe Linton. It's plucked away from Isak, and Arsenal will try and scamper forward. Set pieces are probably going to be a massive thing today. Gabriel Martinelli. Oh my god, Kai Havertz is in here. Kai Havertz! Wide. Well, Arsenal did have a game in hand over us, but I do just need to check. I am going to check. Did Arsenal win or draw that game? Now, hear me out. If Arsenal drew... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, they drew! They drew! Arsenal drew their game in hands! And that means, if we beat Arsenal here, we go into the final day a point above them. And that means the Premier League title is on. If he can beat them here. Oh my god, I had to check. I had to check. They had a game in hand. I thought they won it. No. They drew it. Meaning a win here would put us in advantage in the final day. In the Premier League title, things are different now. So beating Arsenal here, oh my god, would put us in a massive chance of winning the Premier League title. Here's Adeyemi. Finding that out makes it brilliant. Well, this is a massive game. This really is the game of the season then. Because we can beat Everton at home. We can win the title if we can beat Arsenal here. Oh my god. Well, here we go. What a game this could be. Kieran Trippier winning it early on. And he may be one of the players that will be going next season. He's been a good player. Here's Kai Havertz. White. Havertz. Little 1-2s with Saka. He's gone back to Havertz! I did not know Arsenal drew their game in hand. Oh my god. Unbelievable. That means all we have to do is win against Arsenal and win against Everton. And the flipping Premier League title is ours. Oh my god. It's Saka. They really are bottle jobs, Arsenal, aren't they? Ben White. Saka. What a game this could be then for the Premier League title. If we win the Premier League, how big would that be? How unbelievably big would that be? That would be unbelievable. Here's Adeyemi. That would put us in massive, massive heights for next season as well, going into the playing in the Champions League. Odegaard! Nick Pope scrambled across the goal and made a flying save. Brilliant. Every single player has contributed, but not as much as him in this Premier League title race. What a save. Early scares there. If we can beat Arsenal in our own backyard here, we have a big chance of winning the Premier League title. It's Saka! Corners are a big thing, and Rice could have punished us. Here's Guimaraes. Oh, it's come off. Gaza in the end is Sandro Tonali. It's away from Bruno Guimaraes before he can react. Here's Havertz. Here's Saka. Saka snarling. Saka waiting. Saka! And Odegaard through the crowd, but Nick Pope's there again. 3 massive saves in the opening 11 as Arsenal pile on the pressure at the Emirates. A really good save. Focus, boys! This is your game of the season now. I didn't notice Arsenal drew their game, man. They did. That means win this game. All you have to do is win against Everton, you win the title. Oh my god. Unbelievable. I just can't comprehend that we could actually win the Premier League title. We could actually do this, boys. Unbelievable. Yes, there's bigger seasons ahead of us. Just through the gap. Now Adeyemi. Guimaraes, he's seen his man. He's seen Gordon. Is that Dan Burn? Oh, what an opportunity. Dan Burn, the centre-back, looking to run in. Wow. Well, the Premier League title would give us so much belief going into the next season for the Champions League. It's Saka! Nick Pope had to stay aware, had to be sharp, and was. Another big save. Another corner, on your man, on your man. On your man, on your man. I said on your man. Mikel Merino's header, but it's flashing over the bar. But Arsenal showing concern and worry again. Peeling round the back. Well, what a game this could be. Like I said, win this. All we need to do is win our last game and win the Premier League. I don't understand. How did Arsenal draw their game in hand? And they had an easy opponent as well. Mikel Merino. Havertz. Oof. Gabriel Martinelli's offside. We did well to block off the pass to Saka and play that high line. It's Karim Adeyemi. Livramento down the wing and the captain can swing it in! Isaac! Oh my God! He's there! He is there! Oh, how about this? Top of the Premier League! The title in our hands and the Magpies flying! Yes! Arsenal are stunned! They are shell-shocked! Come on! But Newcastle are absolutely jubilant as they know this goal could put them in front of the Premier League in the final day. It's that man again, the man with the X Factor, the man who so often comes up with the goods. A delightful ball from the captain and finished smartly by Isaac. We lead Arsenal. How big could that be? How pivotal could that be for the Premier League and Newcastle? Here's Saka. Even if we beat Arsenal here, we definitely still have to win against Everton to make sure we seal the title. Thibaut Livramento. Adeyemi went sprinting. Guimaraes waiting for further support. He might go to Adeyemi again. He does. He chips it over the top to Anthony Gordon. It's a bit of a poor ball, but they retain it in the end. Brilliant, boys. Brilliant. What a goal. Isak, so often the man to score so many goals for us this season, scores again in the biggest game of all. Martinelli. Livramento stepping in. Sandro Tonali. Space opens up here for the captain. Isak calling for it. Well, he's got an offside position and the referee and the linesman call that well. It's a title blockbuster, this. And so far, Newcastle have the lead. The captain stepping in. Dan Burn from the back. Sandro Tonali in the mixer. Martin Odegaard hurries out. Still Saka. Eyeball to eyeball with Kieran Trippier. Still eyeball to eyeball. He's teasing here. He's running through a few. Fabian Schär's got a big job to do now here. Schär is beaten. And Saka in the centre! Martinelli and parried by Pope. And punched. And out for a corner. But I had to be on his toes there to supply. Boys, calm down. Calm it down. We need to go in the half of the lead. Martinelli. Trippier. Hammered in. And Kieran Trippier got the final blow to supply a corner. Saka. Gabriel needs to be watched. Mikel Merino and Pope takes down his own man to catch it. Oh, it's a lofty one from Pope to Isak. It's Joe Linton who has grasped the run. Here's Isak. Here is Gordon. Guimaraes, there's space opening up here for Adeyemi. He could charge. Isak! Yes! 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 Two quick time headers from that man. Oh my God, the Premier League title. The pendulum has been swung the Magpies' way. The Geordies are in dreamland. How big for the Premier League? How massive could those two goals from Alexander Isak? 50 and you're still counting. How many more can this man supply? Newcastle are pushing here. They really are piling pressure on Arsenal leading up to the final day. And this Premier League title is in our hands. 2-0. Oh, what a brilliant counter. Arsenal are on their knees. Sandro Tonali. Joe Linton through the gap. Adeyemi might wait for it again. Isak wants the hat-trick. The danger cleared for now. Kai Havertz, Saka waiting for it. Borrowed time at the end of the first half. Saka, Schär is there. Pummeled away by Ginreich. Schär to meet it. A free kick to Newcastle, and that'll be the end of the half. Who expected this? Who in the right mind expected this? Newcastle United being 2-0 up against Arsenal in their backyard. They are toying with them. They are teasing with them so delightfully and deliciously well. How pivotal for the Premier League. How absolute brilliant for the Geordies this might be. This is one in a lifetime situation, and we are living it. And so are we not just dreaming it. Isak's 2 goals in 20 minutes puts Newcastle in dreamland at the Emirates. If they can win here, it's all down for us to win at the final day to win the flipping Premier League title. Oh my God. Oh my God. Arsenal drawing their game in hand. It's absolute chaos. The second half is about cruising control, boys. It's about keeping the ball, getting that third. Can't believe how big of a chance we got to win the Premier League. I didn't expect the end of the... Oh, Gordon scampering here. He's lost it. I did not expect the end of the first season to end so dramatically. He's coming out here. Pipe! Oof. He spreaded his frame really well. Had to get a 6'3" frame round down well there to block Martinelli's shot. Early danger at the start of the half, though. It's a corner. Marino. Guimaraes. Adeyemi. Sprinting in behind. Oh, what a poor ball that is. He should have shot at himself. I meant to square it to Isak. Schär's in there. That gets the crowd going again. Isak. Gordon! Thundered it to the near post, but it's the side netting. Newcastle opening up Arsenal like a string of wool there, but they couldn't find the key lock. Saka, Trippier. The away end are having the time of their life. They're cranking up the music. They're charging a gas. No one expected this in the Premier League. Newcastle had such a good season, but after those few losses last stream, he thought the titles are over. Here's Martinelli. Running in here. Dan Burn in the way. Brilliant. And he's there again, Burn. He launches it to the skies, and anywhere will do. Now, Newcastle had such a successful season, but I did not expect Arsenal to draw their game in hand. And because they have, the Premier League is wide open for us. And if we can win the Premier League title, how massive would that be? What a good season. First season that would be. Here's Havertz. Burns in the way. Schär. Oh God. Oh, offside. Oh my God, you're so lucky. You really are. The offside flag, the linesman have saved Newcastle's hearts. Thank God for that, because that would have been a very nerve-wracking last 30 minutes if Ødegaard was offside there. By an inch. By a centimetre. And that could be Premier League defining. But I did not expect Newcastle to potentially win a Premier League. If they can win 2 trophies this season, go into the second season in a Champions League place, like we already are, what a season that would have been. And what a second season it could be. If we can win the Prem, it put us in a really good spot for the second season. In every sense. It's Saka. It's Saka. Saka to Havertz. Schär, and they're all over the place. Livramento and given away. But Arsenal pressing. Arsenal making sure this ain't going to be easy. Ødegaard! Nick Pate with a massive left wrist. How massive could that be? We're just holding on here to that 2-0 lead where Arsenal are getting closer, but not close enough. Here's Guimaraes. Oh, give away. Havertz stroked it. Tonali clears. Isak calling for support. Here is Gordon. Here is Isak. Tonali waiting. Tonali galloping. Arsenal on their knees. Mikel Arteta is on his knees. Because Arsenal have been flawed in their own back garden. 3-0, Sandro Tonali. Unbelievably, counter-attacking football at its finest. We are ripping up the Premier League. And guess what? It will be going to the final day where Newcastle can decide if they want this Premier League. What a performance. From defence to offence, every single player has shown his worth today. And Newcastle are getting smashed. It won't be down to Arsenal if we win the Premier League or not now, it'll be down to us. Here's Isak. Oh, Arsenal just want to get out of this stadium. Drawing their game in hand has not done them favours, and this game hasn't done them favours at all either. But we are absolutely playing brilliantly. We held it on in there when we needed to defend well. And we've done brilliantly in attack. It's Bukayo Saka against Dan Burn. Who's scampering here, Bukayo Saka. Dan Burn, brilliant. Dan Burn again! What a brilliant player. Fabian Schär coming off as Sven Botman. And the Magpies are enjoying every second of this. They will dance and party all night. I say no. We could just win the Premier League. And you already thought that this season was dramatic enough. You already thought that playing the last bit of this season today, along with the start of the second season, you thought the start of the second season was going to be a dramatic start, being in the Champions League and buying some new players. No, this looks more dramatic. Oh, it's a shot! It's at the post! And it somehow stays out, but luckily, it was a thunderclap. I've had their chances, Arsenal, but not taken. Well, if you can end the season with a Premier League title, a Carabao Cup win, and a top 4 finish, that'd be brilliant. Of course, the Champions League and the FA Cup, and consistency to the next season. Consistency is key to being a Big Six club, and the Champions League is key. You need to challenge in the Premier League every season, and we're going to do the exact same thing we're doing this season, next season, apart from the fact we want to do better in the FA Cup and play in the Champions League. Sandro Tonali! Aiming it to Gordon. Gordon scampering all the way. Cleared away. Adeyemi. Martinelli, Arsenal looking for a constellation, not when Botman's in the way. Tonali. And Jolinton! He smashed it in for 4. Arsenal have been put out of their misery here at the Emirates. It's delicious. It really is quite a surprising, shocking game, but come on. What an attacking performance, and just what a beautiful performance this has been. Newcastle have absolutely done a demolition job on Arsenal. They have put them down the sink, and they have potentially put Arsenal's Premier League title hopes down the sink going into the final day. Oh, you'll always be second place. Oh, your bottlers, your bottle jobs. Your bottle jobs. Oh, you bottle jobs. You bottle jobs. Oh, you bottle jobs. You bottle jobs. You bottle jobs. Offside. Oh, you bottle jobs. You bottle jobs. What's your favourite number? Arsenal's in second place because whatever they do, they can't finish first place. I don't care how bad the chants are, mate. I'll sing them all night, because Arsenal have bottled their game in hands. They have missed the opportunities to go. Oh, Rice is running in here. Saka waiting to be supplied. Nick Pope there again. He's also performed really well to keep Arsenal out in certain situations today. If you'd have told me we'd be beating Arsenal 4-0 with a clean sheet to put us on brink of winning the Premier League title going into the final day, I wouldn't believe you. Bukayo Saka, Kieran Trippier, Guimaraes, Mikel Merino, and funded in by Jolinton. It's the full-time whistle. Newcastle are on cloud 9. They are dreaming, but they are living their dream, and they dream their dream. Arsenal have been absolutely eaten here. They have been cut to pieces, and their title race dreams could be shattered, as Newcastle United could win the Premier League title on the final day against Everton in front of their adoring home fans. Alexander Isak's brace and 2 assists is what's ignited this game for us. And Arsenal 0, Newcastle 4 at the Emirates, and it puts us 2 points, puts us a point clear at the top of the Premier League. Aria, it's a what I Aria, it's a what I do, yeah. Boys, we're only half an hour into the stream. We haven't even started our second season yet. We're still on the first season, and we still haven't decided if we're winning the Premier League yet. It's going to be very hard to wind down from this if we win the Premier League and then go into the second season signing players and pretending like nothing happened. But that's how career modes are, boys. Well, listen. Listen up. We are 1 point above Arsenal. The scenario is win, and we win the flipping Premier League. Oh my God. If we draw or lose, it'll be down to luck to see if Arsenal drop any more of their points. What a season. What a season these boys have given me. I appreciate them all big and round. Now listen, despite me saying in my second season I'm going to be buying a player or 2, about 9, maybe even 10 of these players have given everything. There are no improvements to be made in those 8 or 9 positions. I think next season I might sign 1 defender, possibly 2. Well, this is what Everton will be facing against me in our final assault. This is Arsenal's last hope to stop us winning the Premier League. We could win the Premier League if we lose. If we lost and Arsenal lost, technically we would still win the Premier League title. It would be quite funny, that. Well, we get to do it in front of our adoring fans and boys. And boys, listen. If we can win the Premier League, that'll be glorious. That'll be glorious. Now, it may feel a bit weird, but about 10 to 15 minutes after winning if we do win this game, after either winning or losing the Premier League title in this game, after about 10 to 15 minutes, I will be starting the new season. I will be signing a player or 2. We will be getting straight into the second season, focusing on the Champions League, FA Cup, Premier League and Carabao Cup, starting all again. That feels weird, yes. But this will go down in history. This will go down in history. You're playing in front of your home fans. That is that's an honour. That was a privilege to have a chance to win the Premier League in front of your home fans on the final day. 37 long, hard-fought Premier League games to push us to all of this moment. We're not in the clear yet. We have to probably win if we want this Premier League title. If we win, we will lift that thing high. We will. And then we'll celebrate for as long as we want, and then we'll go into the second season signing players. It'll give you massive motivation in the second season. It will be historic. Is this going to be the day for Alan Shearer or Geordie and Magpie fans to beat their heart out forevermore in history books? How long has it been since Newcastle won? How long has it been since Newcastle even won a trophy? The Carabao Cup is not enough to burst this team's trophy hopes. We will force down the Premier League, and we will go into the second season with absolute inspirational motivation. St James's Park welcomes Newcastle United, which a win today would secure an historic and unbelievably remarkable Premier League title race, and we'd steal it from Arsenal. Here we go. The crowd is louder than ever. This crowd is hoping that we do not bottle it, and that we can win this Premier League title. Here's Shaw to start it off. Enjoy with the first poke out. It's Newcastle's first throw-in. Every touch, every win, every set piece, every goal is vital. You need to stay calm. You can't be complacent. You just can't be complacent in games like this. We're playing against Everton. They're a decent team. Enjoy. Shaw in the way. He will definitely be playing next season. This stream, that's for sure. Adeyemi in the middle. Isak! We'll need him today, that's for sure. The header's bobbled away from him. Joe Linton. An early goal would be a nice, unrealistic thing. Adeyemi in the middle! Away from Gordon, and Nana will poke it clear. Is Harrison. Tonali chasing up with him. Oh! Takore! There's a 3-on-1 here. Takore squares it, and then Jai! Straight at Pope. What are you doing, boys? That's an early scare. That Newcastle are praying that didn't go in, and thank God it didn't. Takore. Harrison. Bobble with a pun, and they're all on the floor here. Harrison hits it. Pope away from danger. Calm down, boys. Calm down. Sure, anywhere will do. Away from the danger. Kieran Trippier. He's lost it there. Here's Gordon. Run with purpose and pace. Isaac! Yes! The golden ribbons hang over. Just might be, just maybe, Isaac wins the Premier League title. How much that matter? How maybe could that be? The joy is euphoric, and they beat their dream. They will not be denied. Alexander Isak gets this St. James's Park roaring and ignites into fireworks and jubilation. 16 minutes in, Isak gets the opening goal. The number 14 scores 14 minutes in, and he had to be the man to score one of these goals. Amy. Isak, they're trying to go to a fast start. Got it in! They're rampaging here. Oh! It's absolutely magnificent. It's tantalising and uncanny. The way we're celebrating, we look like we've already won it. Oh! A fast start here to get this St. James's Park raptures, shaking to its core and foundations. Every brick by brick, and these fans are already dancing. It's 2-0. Back to the drawing board for David Moyes and Mikel Arteta. Newcastle are in dreamland at St. James's Park. Oh, what a day. Give us that title. Harrison. Takore deflected and Pope's ball to grab. What a start. What a start. 2 goals right next to each other, either side of themselves. And that puts the early pressure off. It gives us relief. It gives us a chance to settle, and it doesn't make us too nervous about what's Arsenal doing. Here's Njai against Burn. Njai. Burn is there to deny. He's a player that I do want to keep next season. Shaw. Isak. Adeyemi rampaging. Adeyemi scampering. Adeyemi loses the ball in the end, and Everton will get it clear. And they've got numbers here. Njai rattles forwards. Cher gets the crucial touch. And Cher couldn't block Njai going forward anymore. Into the middle. Sandro Tonali took it away from Harrison crucially. That's a poor ball from Trippier. That's quite sloppy. Boys, don't play sloppy. You're 2-0 up. You don't want to make it any nervous than it already is. Ooh, that's nervous. That really is a bit ambitious from Pope and Trippier as well. Is Anthony Gordon. Adeyemi, right wing passing. They've all played brilliantly this season. Sandro Tonali. There's Isak. It's funded into Everton. Burn has an issue here. Then Jai faces him up. And Jai! Oof. What a rising and climbing save. Nick Pope threw a hand at it. Any palm was required. He tipped it over. Every player this season have done their job. They've been remarkable, Newcastle. They have done something that no one could imagine for a manager's first season. They've all tried. They do have to improve in defence for next season if they want to play in the Champions League and if they want to keep consistently winning trophies like this. But in attack, they've been brilliant. They've worked as a team. They've been passionate. This crowd has helped them all the way in every game. You thought we bottled it near the end of the season, but no, Arsenal are the real bottlers. Harrison! Be careful here! Oh, what a save! How has Nick Pope reached that? How crucial could that might be? Here's Kieran Trippier now. Anthony Gordon direct, licking forward, rampaging, waiting for support. It's Anthony Gordon. In the end, Erabunum steps in the way. What a save from Nick Pope. But there is a bit of pressure on us here. Another chance, the Jai Burn in the way. Takore, offside flag up. What a block, and how unfortunate for Everton. Oh, there are chances. They are having chances. Newcastle just crumbling slightly here. Calm down, boys. You're 2-0 up. You don't need to do unnecessary giveaways, leaving too much space in the back. If anything, you should be parking the bus right now. What a block from Dan Burn to then the ball to go break to Decore. He's offside in the end, but that tackle was important because the man, Njai, was not offside. Here is Gordon. Trying to beat his man. Sandro Tonali picks it up. Oh, when we won the Carabao Cup, I thought absolutely brilliant, but I did not expect us to maybe win the Premier League. Here's Isak. Oh, offside in the end. We're coming up to the stroke of the half. The first early 2 goals from Isak and Gordon has put Newcastle in a position where even they couldn't believe it. Trippier. Joelinton. Gordon's got room. Gordon's got space. Gordon chips it in away from Adeyemi. The captain tried to pick it up, back up. Decore. Need to defend really well at the end of the half here. Newcastle, because they'd like a 2-0 lead into the half. And Jai across. There's a big opportunity here. Mikalenko! Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. That complicates things. Boys, what did I say? You had one more attack to defend, but you let it slip. Oh, now it's going to be a really tough second half here at St James's Park. We're slightly quiet. There are murmurs. 2-1, end of the half. Mikalenko makes things interesting for Arsenal. We can never have an easy game, boys, can we? We can never just have a simple clean sheet at St James's Park. We've only kept 2 clean sheets at St James's Park this season. I told you, defence does generally need to be better. I do think I do need to probably replace Kieran Trippier next season. I mean, I think Shaw, Pope and Cher will definitely stay. I think Trippier will be replaced. Maybe Joelinton, but we definitely need a better defender for next season if we want to compete with the Champions League and if we want to be consistent like we have done in the Prem. I'm not sure if Arsenal is winning, drawing or losing, but let's not worry about what they're doing, boys. Imagine if we have to rely on Arsenal dropping points for us to win the Prem because we've drawn against Everton or we've lost. We started so well, but Everton have gone on top of us in this first half here and they deserve that goal. They completely deserve that goal. It's just a shame it happened right at the end of the half, and now you need to be careful. You need to stop being sloppy in attack, take your chances, and defend a lot better. Cher, here's Adeyemi. Isak scampering, looking for a fast start. The start of the second half. Got him! Then appealing round the back. That one's wide. Maybe he should have drawn it back to Joelinton in the end. It's a bit of an ambitious angle to shoot at. His Cher in the way. Well, the crowd are cheering, but there are a few nervous ticks in those cheerings due to the scoreline not being perfect. Oh, Adeyemi wins it back, and Isak, and Gordon! Sweeping on to roar this stadium into life again. Can you stay with us, Arsenal? Can you keep up with us? It's huge for Newcastle and for the Premier League. One hand on the trophy yet again. Anthony Gordon, you beauty. That's how it feels. And that feels brilliant. Superb Newcastle, brilliant Newcastle, magnificent Newcastle, marvellous Newcastle. Never, never, never unstoppable. Trippier bounced onto Isak in the end, a bit lucky. Sandro Tonali, one more goal would probably seal the Premier League title, you'd feel. Trippier galloping. There's rumours that this could be his last game for Newcastle, as at least the starter anyway. He's given everything anyway though. Just a better defender is needed. There's a break on here for Everton. Dan Burns, the only man to get back against Davies. He's beaten him, Davies! Oh. And Nick Pope flies a hand again, and that's an important save again. Stop Everton drawing it back. Block it! Block it! I didn't wear a suit and tie here for no reason, boys. We're winning the Premier League, I think. Give her eyes. Go on, Adeyemi. Go on. Isak's in! 4-1. No flag. He's onside. And that might wrap it up for Newcastle. That could be the Premier League title coming their way. He's definitely giving everything this season. He's scored so many goals. He's the best striker in Europe, and if he can perform like this next season, then that would be brilliant. Decore. Trippier long. Oh, what a... It's absolutely brilliant. This season, boys, has been brilliant. Well, Newcastle, it was nerve-wracking in the first half. It's now sublime and brilliant. Amy away from Joe Linton. Well, Arsenal only have themselves to blame, not winning that game in hand, and then obviously losing to us. There's the inevitable downfall of there. Oh, Decore! Brilliant save. Shaw heaps it away. That's surely a foul, no? Tonali was it back anyway. But Newcastle can celebrate the last 15 minutes now, knowing we've probably won the Prem, boys. Come on. I mean, next season's going to be a big thing. I mean, the first step is obviously winning trophies, and we've obviously done that. We're in the Champions League next season, so that's something to look forward to. We will need a few reinforcements for that, and of course we have to be consistent in the Prem, and obviously whatever else we want to win, the Carabao Cup or FA Cup, preferably the FA Cup. We need to be consistent in the Prem if you want to get back to being a big team. That's offside. We do need to focus on defence better next season, because we're very lucky to win the Prem this season. And obviously, other teams have fallen off, like City and Liverpool. And the Champions League is way different to the Prem. They've got some better teams there. Amy whipped it into Gordon. Away. Everton, you know, they made it interesting near the end of the first half, but 2 good goals from Gordon. Gordon's got a brace and Isaac's got a brace, so does he fancy a hat-trick? Tonali. Gamares. Switched over to the other side. They're trying to walk it in. Gamares, Gordon! Oh, it's sublime! Anthony Gordon gets his first hat-trick to the club at the right time. It's sublime, it's divine. The football is absolutely superb. Newcastle rampaging. They have won the Premier League in style. Unlucky from Gordon. Irabunian. Burn in the way again. He's such a brilliant defender, and hear the crowd's reaction to that one. Isaac. Gimmereyes. 2 minutes until Newcastle can lift that thing high. They're already painting the title with our name. That's it. That's it. The Premier League title is Newcastle's. The champions have been crowned. It's glorious. If you win the league, it's simple. You've been the best team over 38 long, hard Premier League games and 9 long months. They've worked hard for this, and so they deserve it. Come on! Nick Pope, Dan Burn, Fabian Schär, Kieran Trippier, Thibaut Livramento, Joe Linton, Sandro Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, Alexander Isak, Anthony Gordon and Karim Adeyemi have all contributed massively. The new signings this season with Luke Shaw and Karim Adeyemi, and how this team has been transformed. And now for the trophy lift. For the best part, it will be the captain, Bruno Guimaraes, who so often never believed this would come true for him. United, 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 United. Come on. Have it, Arsenal. You'll always remain seconds. Hold it. W Newcastle. The fans cannot believe it. It's a brilliant final day. It's a brilliant 2 performance of the stream. 4-0 battering against Arsenal. And a 5-1 against our new Everton to seal it. And now we can go to the fans who have waited decades, generations for this. How long since we last won a Premier League or any top division trophy? Soon we'll have to go into our second season, sign players and start it off pretty quickly. But as we're here, we will remember this for this career mode forever. No, 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 no. Hey, hey, Jude. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Hey, Jude. Newcastle United are the Premier League champions. And look at that gold ribbons around them. They are enjoying this, and so they deserve it. Happy smiles is the only thing to be said now. Arsenal did win against Southampton 3-1, so that did mean that we did have to win against Everton to secure the Premier League, and that's what we did. That's what we did. It's an absolute surgical performance from every man on this team. Obviously, you know, we're gonna have to still buy a player or two going into the second season. Boys, we're competing in the Champions League. It's different gravy to the Premier League, and I think we're a bit lucky to win the Premier League this season. I think Liverpool, City, Chelsea, United, they've dropped off their podium. It's only been Arsenal to contend with, and they were unlucky not to win at the end. They lost some pivotal games, and we also did get knocked out of the FA Cup in the first game as well. So, come on, boys, absolutely brilliant. Apparently winning the Premier League does not matter to anyone. Brilliant. We end the first season. 85 points and Premier League winners. The FA Cup winners, let's see who that was. It was Manchester City, 4-2 against Forest. We got knocked out to Spurs in that competition first leg. We won the Carabao Cup against Manchester United 3-2. Who won the Champions League? Oh, so it's going to be a final against Paris Saint-Germain and Atalanta. The semi-finals. Liverpool got knocked out. City got knocked out. We'll be playing in that competition this season. And the top 4 in the Premier League was Newcastle, Arsenal, City and Liverpool. No, 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 no. So obviously, in terms of my managerial role, I do think I haven't completed everything I'd wanted to. I don't think the board will be that happy with me. I'm going to be honest. Yes, winning the Premier League, winning the Carabao Cup, and getting top 4 that would be a dream season for any manager, actually. Even flipping Liverpool would be, or Man City would be fine with that. Any team in the world would be fine with that. But obviously, objectives are tight in career modes, and I guess not really focusing on the financial, the youth squad, the brand sorts of the operation, and obviously going out the FA Cup in the first round was a massive thing as well. So I think they want me to focus. I think in terms of the football on the pitch is brilliant, but I think off the pitch we need to do better. But it's fine. It looks like I will be staying in the job for next season. Obviously, yeah, I do think we need to improve in the FA Cup next season. I think. To be fair, boys. To be fair. Oh, Chelsea just missed out on top 4. So did Spurs. Chelsea level on points with Liverpool, what goal difference separate, and Spurs. Way! Always Spurs, always Tottenham. Right, let's end the season. See what they've got to say. It probably won't come as a surprise, as we're not entirely satisfied with the team's results this season. We have failed to achieve a number of our objectives, falling short of what we expect to accomplish both on and off the pitch. Not on the pitch, mate. We are hoping for a clearer commitment from you as well as better results from you. However, we aren't minded to rush in decision for your future. For you deserve another season to work towards what we hope you can achieve as managers in Newcastle. We'd like to remain you in post for next season. Please contact the club secretly if you wish to discuss the contents of this email. 'Cause I don't know what that means. 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 ' That's so ungrateful. I win the Premier League, I win the Carabao Cup, I get you top 4, I make you play magnificent football, all from signing Luke Shaw, a Manchester United injury-prone guy, and Karim Adeyemi, a decent Bundesliga player. I win you the Premier League, and it doesn't matter. Listen, now the second half of the stream is going to be the start of Season 2. The main part of the start of this stream is going to be changing my players' boots, signing the players I need to, sorting out the tactics, and then we'll probably play the first 2 to 3 games. But obviously, after just winning the Premier League, Jesus Christ, mate, give me a break. No. This team's been... I got nothing to say. I think our tactics has been brilliant. I think I'm going to change with the same formation. And that, I think it's worked brilliantly. You can't change it. You cannot change it. I love this football club. Well, here we go. As you probably know, I forgot to do 6 contracts, so there are 6 players unfortunately leaving. I needed a haul out at the end of the season. I've got to tell you, so there's a few players. So I did secure the contracts that needed to be secured, but there are a few players that contracts have run out. One of them is Callum Wilson. He's been there a long time with this club, but I don't think we need him anymore. And yeah, so obviously we have lost a few players. Here we go. Season 2 of the Newcastle United career mode. Here we go. Review my board objectives. So, Newcastle have already been really harsh on me. They want me to win the FA Cup and win the Premier League. They wanted me to win the FA Cup last season. They want me to win the Premier League this season. Both of those objectives are completely possible after what we did in the first season. And I want to win those 2 trophies myself anyway, so that's fine by me. Reach the Champions League final. What are they on, mate? Just because I won the Premier League and won the Carabao Cup doesn't mean I get to have to win every competition. You want me basically to win the treble. You want me to win the FA Cup, win the Premier League, and if I get to the final Champions, that's like winning the treble almost. Okay, yeah, okay. So they want me. Okay. Okay, so the objectives aren't too hard. It's about keeping clean sheets, a bit of young stuff. Not too hard, but they mainly want me to win like Premier Leagues and FA Cups and Champions Leagues. Obviously, I'm excited to play in the Champions League this season. Let's see our first 2 or 3 fixtures. So we're starting off in the Community Shield against Manchester City. Then we'll be playing against Aston Villa and Brentford. Okay. City obviously won the Champions League then. Right, we're gonna... We need to sign 2 players. We can't not sign anyone in the transfer window. It has to be 2 players, probably. Let's see who I've still got on my squad for this season. Okay, let's see who's in. Let's see who left. Let's see who left. Let's see my main squad. Looks like everyone's still here. Obviously, I think, personally, we definitely need another defender. We need a left-back to replace Kieran Trippier. I think that's pretty clear. He's only 80. He's only 79 rated. We definitely need reinforcements. He's my worst defender in terms of... yeah, he's a good set piece, and he's going to be a good bench player. We got Botman, but we do need a better defender, in my opinion. I'm thinking about replacing Joe Linton. I think we got a very good midfield, but I'm not sure because I've already got 9 of the original players that's coming out. Adeyemi and Shaw aren't exactly the best players, but they're good. I'm definitely getting a defender to replace Trippier. I'm not sure about Joe Linton, but he's the weakest link in the midfield wise. Let's see our bench because we did get rid of a few players. Yeah, that bench is not that good. I mean, Osula, Vlanomos like, it's not. We still got quite a few players. We got lots of lone young players who are now back as well. Okay, I see. Isak 90 rated. Isak won the Golden Boot, of course. And he broke a Premier League record. Right. Okay, we're going to wait until after pre-season to start buying. Let's let the money come in. Let's let the opinions and the transfer window set in. We need a left back. Better than 84 rated. I am not doing a pre-season. As much as you guys may hate me for that, I don't do pre-seasons. Pre-season is the most pointless thing in FIFA, unless you really want to be very serious about it. Oh, okay. Oh, damn. Okay. So, I've got a very big transfer. Yeah, Wilson retires. Dubravka departs. Spain offered me a... Right, we're going to go ahead another few days and we're going to go in the transfer market pretty much straight away. Let's give it until 17, 18 days. Okay, 15 days away. Let's go in the transfer market. I'm not aiming for the best in the world necessarily, even though if we're playing in the flipping Champions League and they want us to win the treble, I kind of do need a very good left back. I mean, yeah, I do think I can get a pretty capable left back. I'm not worried about that. But defence needs to be better this season. Okay. We need to go for a left back at the moment. I need to sign a veteran player. That's what they want me to do. So yeah, we're just going to try and find a pretty decently old player who's actually very good at left back. I need to sign a veteran player, otherwise I'm going to get sacked for not doing an objective. My bad. But I'm not allowed to sign anyone from I can actually. Right, not any of these guys. Oh, Cucurella, mate. You actually think I'm getting Cucurella? No way. No, these guys. None of these guys are better than Trippier. Boring. Guys, it's quite disappointing. None of you are veterans, and hardly any of you, apart from a few, are better than Kieran Trippier. That's how bad the Premier League is. Oh, Alexander-Arnold, you're not a veteran. Safe to say, the Premier League is no longer I have an objective in FC25 where it's like sign a veteran player in my manager career mode. Kyle Walker is 35 years old. He's a right back. He's 84 rated. If I sign Kyle Walker, does that count as signing a veteran? I might sign Kyle Walker. I don't know why he's at Manchester. Is he at loan? No, please. Okay. No, he's retiring. Why is Kyle Walker retiring? What? Oh, well, there's my only player I was going to get gone. Ta-ta! Ta-ta, that would have been so good. Right, time to look for another competition. League One McDonald's? Haha, brilliant, mate. Left back, anyone? Davies, how old are you? You're 24, unlucky son. Guerrero, 31. He's a decent player, mate. We'll look at him, Andrew Robertson. What's he doing over there, mate? It's just because he washed. It really is. I'm joking. No, not Reece James. You're not a veteran, aren't you? Conrad Lima, no. Everyone's pretty bad. Syria. No. Anthony Robertson. Guys, I told you that signing somebody... I have to find someone who's right for this football club, who's a decently old player, but actually good. No. I'm not signing Gumney. Haha, you guys are offering me brilliant players. I'll just have to sign a normal left back who's not that old. Oh. Danny Carvajal. Ho. Brilliant. Now I know that is a bit unrealistic. Would Danny Carvajal count as a veteran player? That may be unrealistic. However, in my first season... Listen, in my first season, I bought Luke Shaw, who was a flop at Man United, and Karim Adeyemi. Danny Carvalho's 33. He's one of the best right backs in the league, but I desperately need a defender. Luke Shaw, Cher, Burn, they're all decent defenders, but I do need to desperately work. And if I'm only buying one defender this season, don't you think that they have to be a really good defender? Because usually if you need a good defender, you're buying 2 or more, right? I'm only signing 2 players per season. It's not that unrealistic. We're playing in the Champions League, mate. Look at Real Madrid's squad. Don't tell me it's unrealistic. I could be doing a Real Madrid. How much will this geezer want? How much do you think he'll want? I'm going to be real with him, and I'm going to give him 130. I'm going to swap him. Oh, damn! 130 million. Brilliant. And replacing for Lewis Hall because he never plays for this football club. I think Kieran Trippier will be a good bench player. I think Danny Carvalho's got decent corners and stuff. You're obviously going to be a crucial. I'm not doubting you on that regard. Contract length 2 years. We'll give you 3. Come on. Retire at Newcastle. Imagine seeing Danny Carvalho in a Newcastle shirt. Wage. Would you take 150? And would you take 130 signing bonus? 100. I'll take it. Well, Danny Carvajal's ripping the money out of me, but that's what happens. It may not be the best transfer. It might be a decent or a bad transfer. But here we go. Danny Carvajal to Newcastle United, replacing Kieran Trippier, who's going on the bench. And Lewis Hall is actually being replaced with him. So it's a good transfer. He's probably the top 5, definitely top 10, probably top 5 best wing backs or right backs in the world. He's decent at set pieces. He plays for Real Madrid. His crosses, he's got one of the best crosses in world football. He's not got bad set pieces, and he's a pretty decent fast defender. He's a Spain international. He's 33. He's got years in him. And obviously, he's been very good at Real Madrid. So it's Dani Carvajal to Newcastle United, the first transfer of the season to help us. And with a man with Champions League experience. And yeah. Ooh, he is 85 rated. So he's not exactly an absolute powerhouse. I haven't bought an unrealistic player. Yeah, bad negotiation. Because I've got players in my squad that are way better than Carvajal. Isak and Gordon, for example, who are... Right, Dani Carvajal. Right, I've got an orange rating. It's very close to being a green rating. That's because I signed a veteran. That should be one of my... That should be one of my objectives finished. Let's see. Yeah, I signed a veteran player. That's one of my objectives done. Right, now we need one more player. We can't just sign one player in a season. That's unrealistic. That's not going to help you in the Champions League and keep you in realistic, see? So here we go. Where is he? Carvajal's a right back, right? Right, there's a bit of a switch this season. So Luke Shaw, who's actually a left back, has been playing right back for the whole of the first season, which could have affected things. Dani Carvajal's actually a right back. So what we're going to do, we're just going to put them in their normal position. Carvajal will start right back and Shaw will start left back where they're supposed to be playing. Yeah. Oh, Dani Carvajal looks brilliant. Now we need another player. I think I'm going to replace a midfielder. I generally am. I think, yeah. The front three. So after I buy this player, that'll be 4 players replaced from the original Newcastle 11. 10, 9, 8. That'll be 7 players here originally from Newcastle. It'll probably be Tonali, Guimaraes, Isak, Gordon, Burn, Cher, and Pope. But I do need to do it. I can't just buy Dani Carvajal and call it there. I'm not going to buy another defender. I think our defense is pretty good. It's pretty solid, if you ask me. I might actually start Botman instead of Cher. I mean, Cher's 82. He's getting old. Botman's 85. Cher and Burns, but you know what? I'll think about it. I'll see how the start of the season goes, but I'm going to keep Cher and Burn there. I want a midfielder. I'm not replacing Guimaraes or Tonali. Do I go for it? Do I go for Joe Linton? I'm actually going to start Botman and Burn, I think. That's the 2 changes you've seen so far this season. Botman's going to be getting his place over Cher. Now, it would make sense if it would make sense if Botman and Cher played together instead of... I think Botman definitely deserves to be there. He's gone up massively. Cher's dropped down, but I think Burn adds a lot of height, a lot of set pieces as well. I think Cher can be a decent... I mean, I think that's the replacements this season. Carvajal instead of Trippier. Botman instead of Cher. The question is, what midfielder are we going to get? Someone who's better than Joe Linton. I think Joe Linton is a good player. But I do think we do need another midfielder. It's a centre mid we're looking for, right? Centre mid. We're looking for a centre mid to replace Joe Linton to strengthen our midfield even more. We've bought Danny Carvajal to replace Kieran Trippier. So the only change is that Botman is starting over Cher with Burn at the back, and Trippier's been replaced for Danny Carvajal. Centre mid. Centre mid. Who can we look for, boys? That's the question. Because Joe Linton is a really good midfielder. Like, there's not too many players I think, yeah, he's definitely way better than him. Unless... Dele Alli. It's crazy. How good is Barella? I actually like Barella. He's a really decent player. How good is Barella? No, he's actually a really good player. Is he better than 83? Nicolo Barella. Oh, okay, 87. Damn. Alright. He's 28 years old. He's quite young. He's a very good midfielder. I believe he's got Champions League experience. He plays as Inter. We're going to have to offer him slightly less than Carvalho, but I think these are two really strong reinforcements. Some people will say unrealistic. Right, hold on. I've just won the Premier League. I've just won the Carabao Cup. I did that with only signing only 2 players a season is a pretty decent and realistic transfer. That's less than normal. I bought Karim Adeyemi and Luke Shaw my first season, both less than 82 rated at the time. And in my second season, I'm now playing in the Champions League. I now have to be realistic. I'm obviously strengthening my defence with Danny Carvajal. Maybe Barella's a stretch, but I've also got brilliant players anyway. I've only got an 88 budget. Well, this might not be enough. I might not have enough to sign him. I might not have enough to sign Barella. No. We do not have quite enough to sign him. He is a very good player, obviously. Maybe we offered slightly too much for Danny Carvajal. That's quite fair enough, to be fair. Douglas Luiz. No, that's fair enough. I think I offered probably 30 million too much for Danny Carvajal. I still don't think we would have got Barella anyway. He's a good player, though. He's not bad, Douglas Luiz, is he? I need to look at him. Loftus-Cheek. James Maddison. James Maddison. Why is he also playing for Inter? Why are you playing for Inter, Maddison? James Maddison. He's 84. He's 84. He's just about better than Joe Linton. Get Maddison. He's not as... Listen, if I get Maddison, boys, you can't be as angry as me. You can't be as angry at me because Danny Harbour, first season, we won a few trophies. We already turned my... I stuck with most of my starting 11. I only bought Adeyemi Shaw, who's less than 82 rated. I'm only allowed to sign 2 players per season. That's pretty realistic. I go from an 88 rated midfielder to an 84 rated midfielder. Just about better than Joe Linton. But actually less better than Bruno Guimaraes and Sandro Tonali. You'll be happy with me. James Maddison isn't at Spurs either. The Spurs mentality's out of him, boys. He's 28, he's fresh. The Spurs mentality should be out of him. Surely you'll get away with me offering you 80. There's no way a Tottenham Hotspur player want more than 70. I'll give him 75. You don't want more than that, mate. Trust me, right? But no. And you know what? You know what, mate? I will give you Joe Willock. Okay, so he doesn't. So we've saved about £15 million there. We've gone Maddison for 65 million. That's quite realistic. I like that. That should be a good transfer rating. The question is, will that 15 million saved? He doesn't want Joe Willock, so he doesn't want to swap any of my players with his, so that's fair enough. Can we get him? He wants to be crucial. That's fine by me. That's understandable. Can you stay at the club for 4 years? You're only 28. He agrees with that. What's his wage? What does he offer? I'll give you a lot of wage. $120 and $120. James Maddison, the former Tottenham Hotspur player, is coming to Newcastle. You never thought you'd nibble here. You can take the player out of Spurs, but you can never take the Spurs out of the player. James Maddison, welcome to Newcastle United. 65 million, pretty decent for an 84 rated player from Inter. The wage was slightly much, but we've managed to get him and save a bit of cash as well. So the 2 signings of my first season, Karim Adeyemi and Luke Shaw. That's pretty fair, that's pretty realistic. Nothing wrong with that. Second season, Danny Carvajal and James Maddison. A slight upgrade as we are playing in the Champions League, offering more trophies, but none of them are above 87 rated. And yeah, James Maddison from Inter to us for 65 million. He should be an 84 rated player. If not, oh yeah, good squad player to replace Joe Linton as expected. And he's a bad negotiation, so I don't really know how. But yeah, whatever. So after probably 25 minutes, we have signed 2 players. Danny Carvajal to replace Kieran Trippier. And James Maddison to replace Joe Linton. It strengthens our defence quite well, quite nicely, I'd say. And yeah, and also the only other small change you have to see is that it looks like Botman is playing instead of Cher. There he goes. Now, look at the midfield. Oh, brilliant. Joe Linton is obviously going to start on the bench. He's not going to be left out. Look at that bench, though. It's quite a good bench, that. I do think Trippier, Cher, Joe Linton are the new ones on the bench. I think Cher will be... I think Cher, Botman, Burn, they'll be replacing their positions quite a lot, changing over time. But I think Carvajal will be staying now. I think Trippier will be... But look at that. Look at that. The reinforcements. James Maddison, 86 instead of Joe Linton, 83. Danny Carvajal, 87 instead of Kieran Trippier, 79. Botman, 85 instead of Cher's 81. And obviously, Shaw. Look at that. The attack I never had concerns over. The midfield I mostly had no concerns over. But I think Joe Linton was always a thing I had to replace with Maddison. Obviously, the goalkeeper, he's brilliant. I've got no problems with him. The defence, well, I think if I just put Botman there and maybe Carvajal there, that should be fine. There we go. That is the buying of the players done, and now it's all about changing boots, and then we can actually get into some games to start the season off. I will tell you my objectives for the season, so you already know what the board want me to do. Basically, win a flipping treble. It is a bit annoying. How do you want me to do that? Can you explain to me how easy you expect me to do that? It's not easy. I'll tell you that. There's not enough in the Premier League and the Carabao Cup. Of course, this season, I want to focus less on the Carabao Cup, more on the Prem, FA Cup and Champions League. Because they are very important for this football club. Otherwise, I might die. They'll kill me, trust. Let's, I do this for aesthetic reasons. I don't know why I like changing my players' boots, but it shows a new season, boys. Oh, Sandro Tonali, you beauty. Guimaraes, what can he have? Gordon can stay like that. There's the man. There he is. Is Isaac done? Nick Pope's such a good keeper, man. Like, I don't know. He is absolutely brilliant. No one can doubt my keeper. Who's Pivas, mate? Damn, he's silky. He's really silky, Madison. Um. No. We'll let him have those. Danny Carvajal, what a football player he is. He's such a good football player, though, isn't he? He really is. Okay, so there we go. Okay, we'll see how the first game goes. Right, so there we go, there it is. So, we obviously spent the first 60 minutes playing the first two games against Everton and Arsenal, winning the Premier League title. We are now going to play the first two games of this stream against City in the Community Shield, which isn't massive, but it's big enough, and the first Premier League game of the season. If I'm right, Manchester City won the FA Cup. Yeah, City won the FA Cup. That's the only trophy they won last season, but they won the FA Cup. They got to the Champions League semi-final. And they got fourth in the Premier League, I believe. Maybe. So yeah, here we go. It's a neutral, it's Wembley. Last time we were at Wembley was that Carabao Cup win. Let's see what. So City seem to have almost the same exact team at the start of the season. They got a new man, Darmian, or is the new right back, but they got Omar Mamouche, striker. But yeah, here we go. The first press conference of the 25-26 season of Season 2 of the Newcastle Chris. Sorry I've only played 2 games in 100 minutes, but most of it has been celebration and starting the second season. Yeah, I think Nick Pope, he's keep this form. I think he's one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. I trust him completely, and he barely ever makes any mistakes. Yeah, I mean, I think Luke Shaw keeps the squad. I think Danny Carvajal, we did need to strengthen that defence, and we know Kieran Trippier will be working in training. This is all about me picking my best 11, and I think we did need to work in defence. Danny Carvajal has a lot of experience in the Champions League, of course, and he can help us through that, but I do think Luke Shaw deserves to keep his place. Yeah, I think Danny Carvajal in training, his crosses are unbelievable. He shows some unbelievable qualities that we haven't seen before as well, and he can be a good man on the pitch, and yeah, I think he's going to be a big aspect to us this season. Thank you. Okay. New message from Joelinton. I'm sorry. So let's just look at the transfer scenario. Let's see. Well, let's see what who people have been signing. Anyone interesting? Damn, Tottenham are putting out a few players. What about my club? Yeah, my club. Danny Carvajal and James Maddison are the new signings. So here we go. We played against Manchester City twice last season. both in the Premier League. Didn't play them in the Carabao Cup or FA Cup. We beat 4-2 the first time at St James's Park, a hat-trick from Alexander Isak, and the second time another hat-trick from Isak to beat him 3-1. That was later on down the line at the Etihad, obviously. Alexander Isak got 46 goals in the Premier League last season, followed by Gordon Adeyemi, who is the best attack in the league. He got 6 in the Carabao Cup as well. He's 89 rated. Our attack looked really prosperous. Our midfield looks even better with James Maddison. And I think Botman and Carvajal makes our defence look like an absolute rock at the back. I think Byrne and Shaw can improve, but I think overall we have a very decent team. So today will be the debuts of James Maddison and Danny Carvajal. I don't want to rush it, but obviously the rest of the team deserve to keep their place. Play on legendary mode, sliders fair. I just need to get the Community Shield ball out. What's the default? Playing at Wembley. May as well use this ball. If you want to see my tactics, I play a 4-3-3 holding, a counter-style build-up, and my defensive approach is pretty aggressive. So, boys, it is only the Community Shield. We're playing at Wembley. I mean, we all know what the Community Shield is about. It's about the best two teams, the team that wins the FA Cup versus the team that wins the Premier League. You know what it's about, boys. You know what it's about. It's about showing how the teams are right at the start of the season, showing the new transfers off, and yeah, just a decent game showing how two really good teams can go up against each other at Wembley. So yeah, just play your normal football, don't panic, you're in very good shape, we've got a very good team. Welcome the arrivals of Danny Carvajal and James Maddison. Play your normal football. Obviously we've beaten City on the last 2 occasions we played them, just show that, you know, that we're going to be a good team going into the start of the new season. We are playing at Wembley Stadium. Last time we were here, a Carabao Cup win. First game of the new season, it is the Community Shield. Obviously, losing to this today won't be the worst case scenario. They are a very good team, City, still. Oh, there are the beautiful, sunny Wembley Arches once again. Last time Newcastle was here, they won their first trophy in 7 decades, the Carabao Cup, and they come here again. What a season it was. A Premier League win, a Carabao Cup win, and a top 4 finish. But this season demands even more from the board. Champions League, FA Cup, and Premier League is something we consistently on. We get to showcase the signings of Danny Carvajal and James Maddison to strengthen our defence is the main improvement this season needed. But we are aiming for every silverware this season. And a Community Shield against Manchester City at Wembley. It's not a massive game. It's one of the least important games of the season. But you feel that it fits the atmosphere. Here's Gordon starting it off. It's given away. Carvajal wins that back. Gimrais through the centre, away from Adeyemi. It's Grealish. Silva. Kabore. Foden. Erling Haaland! That one's gone flashing over the bar. It's the first chance for him though. First chance for him. Burn. Tonali. Bruno Guimaraes dancing through here, the captain. Intercepted by Bernardo Silva in the end. Erling Haaland through the middle. Oh, Mamma! Into Pope's hands. Guimaraes. Adeyemi, that's a poor ball. Foden can run through here. It's a mistake at the back. It's Foden! And it's 1-0 Manchester City. Hold on a sec. Hold on. Right, give me a sec. I need to sort out something. Obviously, we have Manchester City and the Community Shield. I know that. We need to swap some of our players' boots out. I don't really like how we need to look presentable, boys. We're not looking presentable. Isaac, Tonali. Especially Isaac and Tonali. Jesus Christ. Oh, I have to do it all again. That's cool. Oh, well. As they say, it's for the best. Right, let me do this better. Shaw is not going to have green boots. We've discussed this. I'm fine with what Shaw wears. If I can find it again. Blue. I can never find them. Where are they? He's wearing blue. That's quite obvious. Burn can have green. So like Tonali can keep those. Kamara's. It's fine by me. Now Gordon, you see, obviously the boots I put on him was not quite the best. I've got I can put these on him, can't I? What are these? Damn, they look cool. I'm gonna give these to Gordon. Actually, no, I'm gonna give these to Gordon. Isaac. Right, Isaac can wear. He can wear Adeyemi's boots, I feel. There we go. I know I take time in doing this. Well, my bad. I've got nothing to say that apart from my bad. Where are they? And those gloves are very boring. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Not too much red. I mean, there's Gimmerais and there's... Madison, you absolute brilliant player. I don't know what you're going to be wearing, mate. Those look absolutely bad, though. Of course, that's not me that would say that. Madison. Addy Amy. You can wear some sort of white, can't he? No harm done in that. Okay, and then who was left? Like Danny Carlisle, wasn't it? Yeah, it's Danny Carlisle. You can have some red as well. I'm joking. You can have nothing. Where even is red? I don't see red anywhere. Would you fancy pink boots? I think you would. Right, after like what? Now it's been 45 minutes of me sorting out my players' boot colours. Not just that. It's probably 20 minutes for that, but I'll tell you what, overall, it's obviously took about 45 minutes to start season 2, but it's not a slow progress, and of course, about 20 minutes for the players' beats. We bought Danny Carlisle with Jane Madison. Yes, I was doing City, but I need to make sure that Right, we're going to play the first 2 games to make that 4 games played today. With obviously the main part of the stream was starting season 2 and ending season 2. Good stream so far. 4-0 against Arsenal, 5-1 against Everton, and winning a Premier League and buying Danny Carvajal Madison at the start of my 2nd season. You cannot blame that one at all. Where? So hold on, let me make sure I actually answer this. Cheers, Jeff. Free scout reports. Where's my youth academy? There's my academy. I need a goalkeeper, guys. Alright, this stream technically has 13 minutes left. We can definitely get a game in, but I might push it for the last game. Obviously, we already did this press conference before. We already know what City putting up against us. I just had to make sure my players' beats were more bright and colourful and understanding on who they were. Yeah, Maddison and Carvajal. I mean, Carvajal's really good. I'm not sure about the Maddison thing, but we'll see. Same team on. Gundogan looks very tired, though. You have to admit that. Okay, that's the team going into it. You already know the flipping drill, boys. Obviously, winning the Community Shield would be a nice start to the season. Little cheeky trophy. More for Newcastle to celebrate more than they have been throughout recent. Let's get straight into this. Wembley Stadium, Community Shield, Newcastle vs City, start of the second season. Danny Carvajal and James Maddison's debut. Let's go. Here we go. Community Shield isn't massive. Last time we were here, it's a Carabao Cup final win. What do City have to offer them? Maddison starts us off, Shaw fizz it in. And here is Gordon, scampering off early on. Shaw's giveaway is Haaland. Erling Haaland, Botman, who's found his feet into the squad. Oh my god, he's gone bursting in here. Foden! Nick Pope with his first important save this season. And what a save. He went charging through Foden, rampaging. Burn there maybe in the end, but Pope started to fly across and make an important save. First corner to defend of the season. Carvajal and Maddison both nearest to it. Maddison with his first impact, poking Foden's toe out. It's a corner. Erling Haaland, the man to be watched. Watch Haaland! Watch Haaland! City just can't get the better of us. 2 wins against them in the last 2 occasions. His shot is Isak on an early run, followed by Adeyemi. Maddison, brilliant ball! And agonisingly wide from Anthony Gordon, who went sliding in at the near post. Wow. Alexander Isak out the top scorer in the Premier League last season, the golden boot, and broken up Erling Haaland's record. I don't think Haaland will be happy about that, but he did very well there, Newcastle, to break out. It's Kabore. Maddison did well there to find Gordon. Phil Foden. It's Kabore. Sandro Tonali going in. He somehow won a free kick from there, Kabore and City. It was just body to body. I think he got most of the ball as well, but that's what they've given. Here's Kabore again. Here's Foden. Oh, Haaland in. Haaland! What a save! He's there again. Brilliant save. Haaland, De Bruyne clattered it against Botman's toes. They had to be wary there, Newcastle. It's a corner. Lovely save by Nick Pope. De Bruyne in the middle. Haaland needs to be marked. Dan Burn off the line by, was that Isak who's back there defending? Oh my god, what's Botman doing? Rodri! And Nick Pope supplied a brilliant right hand wrist again. Focus! Calm down, what a sloppy giveaway that was. Rodri was almost invited to hit it. Pope with his third big save. It's a corner. Not the best start. Pope's punch. The captain wins it back. Maddison not quite as good as there as you expect him to be. Kevin De Bruyne, City are playing very well early on. Haaland, Foden! He's there again! How is he reaching these, Nick Pope? The only reason we aren't 1-0 down 20 minutes in is because of him. Yes, defending's a bit shaky early on, but it's due to City's very good tiki-taka outside the box. They are still one of the best teams in Europe. We just have to start breaking out. It's a corner. De Bruyne to take. Short again. Maddison beaten. Foden coming around the outside. And how has he slipped that in? How has he slipped that in? That is so poor from James Maddison to get beaten and then drive at the near post. Maddison's debut as a starter, a mistake from a corner. That's not his job, but look, beaten well too easy there and doesn't convict. Nick Pope shouldn't be beaten at his near post either after making some really good saves, but that's Newcastle's fault. Gordon. Luke Shaw on the overlap. I'm not sure who was offside there. Might have been Isaac. He might have touched it with his hand in the end. Not quite sure what happened there, but either way, the flag has gone up. Maddison does win that one though. Ref! How's that a foul? Where? He won it so fairly. What's this referee on today? He's winning. We're winning balls fairly, and they're like, nah, that's a foul. Mate, what? Whoa! We deserve that. Oh my god, another giveaway. Erling Haaland! That one strokes wide. Newcastle just haven't bounced into life in attack yet. Give him Rice. Here is Isaac. Charging in. Gone! A bolt from the blue. Newcastle fiercely strike back. Yes. What a blistering counter. Isaac the provider this time. Anthony on the finisher. Shh. This is what we did against Manchester City in the 2 previous fixtures. We let him have the chances in the possession, but when it came down to us attacking, we were unstoppable. Gordon made a really good run, provided by Isaac, who were really strong. And that's a brilliant finish to get our first goal of the season. Our first real chance, our first goal. Nice attack, boys. Danny Carvajal's first real test against Ferland Mendy. He's done pretty well. Bruno Guimaraes, and Burn can clear that. Why has he gone over there? Why has Dan Burn gone over there? Carvalho does well to keep up with him. He's offside, he's offside. Way! Really good defending to force City to make a mistake from Carvalho and Burn. They're going to have the possession, they're going to toy with you. That's City all over, but here's Adeyemi. Guimaraes, Isaac can pressure. He always is a threat. He's going again here, Isaac. Mendy. De Bruyne. City being pressed here. Thank God why did he turn there? Shaw's there, advantage played. Foden against Dan Burn. He's way faster than him, but Foden. City just having more of the ball as expected. This is the one team where I expect us to lose against out of almost any team in the league. But we are draw. But look at this. It's brilliant play. Maddison does well. Guimaraes does even better. It's Botman! Sven Botman, the centre-back! Clearing through! How about this? He slotted it in! Oh my God! What is happening here at Wembley? Sven Botman, the centre-back, goes charging up the pitch. Adeyemi waited, he supplied him, and Botman finished like a traditional striker. Come on! Newcastle on top in this battle. Unbelievable. The centre-back who's gotten his place over Fabian Schär scores a goal. That in itself is a headline. Newcastle leads City in the Community Shield after being 1-0 down, but 2 really good attacks have supplied it. I told you City would have the possession. They'd have the more chances. They'd probably be the better team. But if we can just play good on attack and if we can be good in defence, that's what matters. If you're defending well, not conceding too many. Haaland's hit. Botman there again. It's a corner. It'll be the last kick and a half. Where's the whistle, ref? If you're attacking well, scoring your own chances, defending so you're not conceding more than one, what's going wrong? Also, any chance, ref, any chance Where's the whistle? It should be half-time. Any chance? Any chance? Any chance? Any chance? Pope is there again to punch it out. And finally, the half-time whistle has been pressed. Well, Newcastle went behind after Pope made a few really good saves. But then after the 20th minute, Newcastle defended really well and they showed their attacking quality, scoring 2 goals. Gordon scoring the first after supplying from Isak, and Sven Botman, the centre-back, putting us into the lead. Madison's done decently well so far, a few good defence and a few good balls. Carvalho hasn't had to do too much in attack, but he's been there in defence. De Bruyne, now Rodri. Carvalho does brilliantly. Carvalho does fantastically. And what a ball from Danny Carvalho to stretch it to Gordon. He's unlucky not to keep it in. That was brilliant defending and brilliant cross from Danny Carvalho. That's why we bought him, to defend. He's not all about attacking, Carvalho. He will take our set pieces probably. And he's good at crossing, but his defending is why we bought him. Silva, Haaland, Rodri, squeezing it. Oof, Haaland's offside in the end. He probably was offside. But it was very close, and that would have been a worry if he wasn't. Botman, Madison, that's really good. Gordon, Madison, here's Isak, tormented City last season. He sets in the captain, Guimaraes! And the captain, oh, what is that touch? It lets him down in the end. The attack was brilliant. Everything about it, but the touch from Guimaraes, how disappointing. Here's Haaland. Erling Haaland breaks away from Tonali. It's Haaland, it's 2-2. Manchester City break through there. And yeah, it's too easy. It really is too easy to let him go. We've got a really good Community Shield game here though. Adeyemi charging. Adeyemi supplying Guimaraes. Adeyemi coming back in. Poor touch from Guimaraes again. One in attack and now one in defence, which could cost us here. Foden! Pope coming out brilliantly. Well, this is Manchester City we're playing against, so I think we've done pretty well. Gordon! The right back charging. Isak coming in! And Ederson makes a massive save. He's won a goal kick in the end. Isak will torment City so often last season, looking for his first goal in all competitions. Maybe it's because it's not the Premier League. Oh, he's charged past him there, Kabore. Omar Mamouche. Defended well in the end, Carvalho. In the end, that is. Foden! Shaw's there. And Botman. Oh, and Botman. Mistake! Saved! Haaland's there. 20 minutes to go. Manchester City lead 3-2. Fuck's sake. A massive mistake from Botman, not once but twice. Who put us ahead end of the first half. And Pope's unlucky. Individual errors from Pope and Botman have done it in the end. Surprisingly, it's none of our new boys that have done us wrong. What's Isak doing? Why is he shooting? He had the ball. He hasn't had a good game, Isak. He assisted. He's done decently well. But he hasn't had enough of the ball. Foden in the middle. Guimaraes does pretty well. So does Madison and Adeyemi in the end, though. "15 minutes left to push it to penalties, or for City to see the game out." Haaland, that's it. He's got a hat-trick. He's the man of the day. Newcastle are not winning the Community Shield, not today anyway. Isak does get a goal. It's 4-3 with 5 minutes left. That is his first goal of the season. It's an absolute blockbuster in this Community Shield, and there is still time. Not a lot of time at all, but there is still time. It's so easy. It really is. What's wrong with defending today? Why? I sign a defender. Well, in the end, the Community Shield belonged with Manchester City. I did not expect that. I did not expect that. City win 5-3. We led 2-1 at half-time, but really, conceding 4 goals in one half of football isn't good enough. Yes, it's the Community Shield, and yes, we showed really good attacking play, but it's not what we wanted. It's certainly not what we wanted. It is quite poor in defence. Attack's pretty good. 3 goals in a game against Manchester City is pretty good. However, and also conceding, we were 2-1 up in the first half. It was a very good half to start the stream off, but let's be honest, yes, it's only the Community Shield, yes, it's the start of the season, but you can't concede that many goals in one half of football. I think there was a few individual errors there. Botman was there probably for 1, Madison was for 1, so we only have ourselves to blame. I wouldn't say we were bad at defending in general. I'd say it was individual errors, but it's quite disappointing. Listen, a Community Shield win would have been a good start to the season, and Manchester City finally do get the better of us. But it is the first loss of the season, you could argue, in the first game. I'm not worried massively. I think we have to worry about the Prem, Champions League, FA Cup and Carabao Cup. I could not give one about the Community Shield, but it would have been nice to win it. But it's quite poor how we lost it, seeing as the amount of goals we conceded. Anyway, playing at St James's Park in the first game of the season, this is the last game of the stream. We beat Everton 5-1 and Arsenal 4-0 to seal the Premier League title. We've started the second season by buying James Maddison and Danny Carvajal, unfortunately losing the Community Shield 5-3 to City after conceding 4 goals in one half of football. But the first game of the stream is against Aston Villa at St James's Park in the first Premier League game of the season. And we are obviously the champions, boys. Well, last time we played against Aston Villa, we beat them 2-0. It was quite a dominant display, but this was last season. You could argue this is Danny Carvajal's and James Maddison's proper debut, their Premier League debut, at least, for Newcastle. And it's the first game in front of their adoring home fans, St James's Park. And yes, the Community Shield was a bit of a low, but winning this first game of the season is important. Getting off to a good start is important. It's a sunny day at St James's Park, and Danny Carvajal will start us off by playing a brilliant ball to Karim Adeyemi on the wing. Here's Bruno Guimaraes away from Isak, who did score a goal against Manchester City. Can he start off? Maddison chasing. Still playing a high press, Newcastle, as they should. As they do. Brilliant high pressing. Gordon wins it back in the end. His ball, his header was not good enough, but it was good pressing. That wasn't good pressing. He's in here. Thuram against Dan Burn. Thuram stands him up. How brilliant is that in defending? Maddison. Anthony Gordon at full lick. He is such a direct play, such a good player as well, by the way. Shaw's fallen over. Thuram sprinting. Bailey. Still on Bailey. There's somebody in the middle. Dan Burn puts his body in the way. Somehow a free kick to Aston Villa. I'm not sure why. Dan Burn didn't hit his hand. It was a natural position anyway. It's into the middle. Sandro Tonali away. It's not cleared yet. It's in by Ramsey. First blow for Newcastle struck very early. It's not a free kick. It's not a free kick. It's a scramble in there. Yes, we failed to clear it on 2 occasions. Goalkeeper in no man's land. It's the first goal Newcastle. It's not a free kick. It's his shoulder. It's his shoulder. Post it, clip it. We've conceded a free kick because the ball hit Dan Burn's shoulder. Yes, ourselves to blame for not clearing. But it's not a free kick. Robbery early on at St James's Park, who won't be liking that start. But we have to... What? How has he got a yellow? What is happening here? What are these decisions? He's fallen over him. I didn't even do anything to him. Oh my God, well... We do have to defend better this season if we want to win competitions like the Champions League or FA Cup or continue being good in the Premier League. This referee's all over the place. So far, not the case. Shaw supplied Gordon. Isak. Gordon shuffling. Shaw dancing and juggling. Isak. Isak again. Cleared as far as Sandro Tonali, who belted it in. Oh, how is he offside there? And why is he offside there, actually? Isak chasing. Pau Torres. Thuram. Ramsey. Burns in the way. Why are you offside? He's clearly going down the line. Oh, what is Luke Shaw doing? It's Thuram against Luke Shaw. Thuram in the centre. Danny Carvajal, vital clearance. He's onside that time though, Adeyemi. It's a brilliant, beautiful ball to Gordon. Just lost out in the end. Thuram! 2-0. I don't believe this. What is happening here? Oh dear, dear me. 2-0. 2-0 we are behind by. Unbelievable. So poor. I didn't expect this. Isak! Away from Adeyemi. But I just can't believe that we're 2-0 down to Aston Villa. Gordon, Hartman coming in again for glory. Misses the target not long before half time. It's quite a not a dazzling display from Newcastle. You ask yourself what went wrong. Oh. Who can understand what's happening here? Who can understand it? Down 2-0 at St James's Park against Aston Villa. It's a misery. It really is a misery. I'm getting Fabian Schär on for Botman. I'm not liking what I'm seeing, boys. I'm really not liking what I'm seeing. You need to wake up. You need to take your chances in attack. How are you conceding 2 to Aston Villa? Oh my God. Oh, Aston Villa are singing Newcastle falling apart again. Not sure how that makes sense. We won the Premier League last season, boys, but whatever you fancy in your big day out. We need an early goal to start the second half, that's for sure, if you want any chance of at least winning it. There we go, that's how you defend. See, Danny Carver actually defending, unlike the other players who... I don't even know what they're doing, to be fair. What are we doing? What I will say is that Villa are defending pretty well here. I think it's not. I think it's obvious to see, but they are defending really well here, Villa. Bailey misses it. Oh, it just isn't going Newcastle's way. It really isn't. You need to ask yourself what's happened. Don Marlin's cross. Save that is. This team looks like a former shell of what they used to be. And you need to ask yourself why with these transfers. Oh, you need to ask yourself why. We look so flat, we look so out of it. The champions being brought down a level with this performance, that's for sure. I can't tell you what is happening. I can't tell you why this is one of our worst performances I've seen on and off the pitch. I just can't explain it. Oh my god, block after block after block. Has to be 3-0 this. Well, how lucky is that? Hits the bar. We look so out of shape. We look not like a team. We look absolutely exhausted. And the question is, what is happening? What a poor performance. And how do you describe the woes of what I am thinking? How do you describe this loss? Oh my god, he's going in here. Thunder Marlon! How do you describe it? We haven't won a game this season. A loss in the Community Shield and a loss in the Premier League at home. It is early days. It's worrying. Nothing was shown. No brightness. What has happened here then? What happened here? The champions off on a back foot. What is happening? Boys, I don't know. We are 20th in the Premier League. Bah! How bad are we? Don't know. I don't know, boys. Listen, I think that was a one-off game against Villa. I think... Right, the City game we actually played pretty well, so I don't know why we lost to Villa. Next stream we'll be playing against Brentford, City, Ipswich, Liverpool and Manchester United. That will be on Wednesday. I honestly don't know what's happened, boys. I don't know why we were so poor. I'm going to switch Carvajal and Shaw because that's the only thing I can think of at the moment. And I'm probably actually going to start Cher instead of Botman. Again, that's the only difference I'm doing. I'm starting Cher again over Botman, and I'm just switching Carvajal and Shaw to left back and right back instead of... I don't know. I can't explain why we were so poor in the Villa game. We didn't score a single goal in front of our home fans, so it's not the best start for the champions, is it? Obviously, I am going to call that there. We've been streaming for 2 hours and a half. It's been a pretty decent stream in general. We started off by winning against Arsenal 4-0 and Everton 5-1 to win the Premier League. The start of the second season, it's not been good. We've signed some good players, but Community Shield, that was good intent, but we lost that. And we lost against Everton in quite a poor worrying game, but I have to focus on that, and we'll have to do that on Wednesday. I'm about to do a Minecraft stream, so yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see some more FC25, come back Wednesday. And yeah, goodbye guys.